New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning. Laura Styles, Rosenberg. Give it up for QC's old Coach and P. You know what I'm saying? Quality control. Yo, P, don't straight face us now. You was just laughing, man.
He's still laughing.
Stop, man.
You got his rapper voice. You doing interviews now, Coach?
Man, get out of here.
So wait,
I love y'all, man.
You guys have an album coming out.
No.
Yes, Control the Streets Volume 2.
Yes.
No, but they are the people who masterminded all of the what do you guys like 200 albums in the top 200 or 20 albums in the top 200s? Some number one. How many number one singles y'all got now? As QC.
Honestly, I don't
Lost track.
I lost count.
Yeah, I lost count.
Wow.
Is that good? That means you've been successful.
Well, Lil Baby,
right.
managed Cardi B, Migos, obviously,
Right, Yachty.
Yachty, Gunna, no Gunna.
That was just a joint project.
That was just a joint project.
Yeah,
Got it.
Lil Baby and Gunna.
Lil Baby,
City Girls.
City Girls. Yo, salute to City Girls. I remember when you first sent me their project, man, I was hype off them too. He wouldn't give me the music. He sent me like little snippets of the songs. I was like, this is fire. Let's go. He ignored me on the text for
You was
months.
one of the first persons I remember I sent you, I Take Your Man.
Yeah.
He was very into it. You were very into City Girls very quickly. And now, if you're a new artist or even a current artist of any sort and you want to have any single, it's almost as if you have to get a City Girls feature to exist in 2019. And you guys did something brilliant. While JT's been away, it's been Young Miami. And yet, all the features for everything always say City Girls.
Yeah.
Was that something you decided,
Yes.
hey, we're going to keep going with that?
You gotta keep the brand name alive.
How hard is it to show young artists talk about that? Like the conversation you guys have had with Migos over an extended period of time, or like even look, Coach, I've known you since when you was working with Jeezy.
Right.
The first time you brought Migos up here, I was hard on the Migos. I don't know what y'all talking about. What slang is y'all using? Y'all managing y'all money good? Can y'all even rap? Like that was, but you showed them that people are going to be critical of them and not to take it personal.
Right.
How did you manage that?
I mean, it's just being real with them, you know, and just drilling it because, you know, artists are emotional, so they gonna take, like, I don't care who it is, you know, with these artists, they come to an interview and whoever's doing it comes at them, they gonna feel a certain type of way, you know what I mean? But like, after, you know, one and then the next one, it's like, you know, you're able to show them, like, see what happened here. Just, you know, it's gonna happen because everybody has a comment, you know,
An opinion of this.
Opinion, you know what I mean, of this and that. So don't let it really get to you.
What's your conversation now about them?
I think they've improved. I've told them to their face many times. Like y'all have, you know, look, I was always, I could hear Takeoff was really trying to do these raps, and Quavo had melody. Right, and Offset was, you know, figuring out, navigating what he wanted his sound to be. Early on, it felt like a bunch of y'all just ad-lib rapping, swag rapping, but I feel like they've leaned into being more MCs and trying to tell stories and have coherent thought, and you know what I mean? And I had to learn, too, that we were meeting artists before they were developed and found their path. That's a new thing for us. As, you know, media folks and DJs, is we're used to, especially when you've been doing it 30 years like me, when we get a song, the everything has kind of been developed. You guys have created something where we're watching artists develop in real time, watching them grow in real time. So we have a great camaraderie now. I think they really work hard on the music and the clarity and being about the bars as well as the melody and trying to improve.
Now. I mean, like, the funny thing is when people talk to me about music, like, oh, rappers nowadays, you know, like the Migos, I'm like, wait, you realize that the Migos are on the side of the most rapping rappers in the mainstream.
Exactly.
Like, they actually rap more than most. Their level of influence is crazy. Stylistically, they affected everybody. I mean, how do you guys view their level of success? They're also, from a mainstream standpoint, they're all over TV. Like, they've really, did they exceed expectations for you guys?
No, that was always the plan, to just make them a brand instead of just, you know, a rap group. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we've been working hard to build up to this point, and I know it's crazy when people say like they veterans now.
No,
because I just feel like it's just now beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's also indicative of where we are as a as a music culture, right? Like 5 years in the game, you're a veteran.
Well, how about this? Hold on.
know what I mean?
Let's play a game. What year did Versace come out?
2013.
2013. It's now 2019. Right?
Right.
Here we go. I'll speak in your guys. I'll speak your language. Our language. Long Live the Kane came out in 1988.
Right.
Where was Kane in 1994? It was already basically over.
That's facts.
So, and he'll talk about, Kane speaks about that openly. The turn had already happened. People thought it was like Taste of Chocolate. You know, he changed already.
Right.
So, like, think about how long they've made it to still be on top that long in the game.
7 years is a long time.
That is veteran status. You know?
Now, because hip hop.
So I never looked at it because 3 more years we'll be having a 10-year anniversary.
Right. And think about how many artists from back in the day ever made it 10 years. It's crazy.
That's our whole thing when we sign artists. Like, okay, can we build this brand so it can last 10 years? You know what I'm saying? So it's not a record. You know, with most of the artists, we want a lease. If we can get a 10-year run, man, you had
A real career.
exactly.
One thing that was dope too with the growth of QC that you guys took it to outside of the US, like by snatching up Stefflon Don, right? But if you really think about it, like what British female rapper has ever transcended and really like shaken in
Moni Love.
the US? Yes, Moni Love.
Only love.
That was it.
But
You can
other
also
than
remove the
that-
word female.
yeah.
What British
It's
rap?
true.
British rappers have still not, even the ones who people are into now, even Stormzy
and Skepta.
and
which are
Skepta,
amazing.
who are amazing and have had great careers overseas. There seems to be that line that's very hard.
Let me ask you something. Why you think that? Because we was just in a meeting last week with these guys from London that we was thinking we negotiating, signing, but
There's several reasons. I think I've literally had people tell me that they can't understand what
Slang was
English
good.
rappers are saying. And then I'm like, but they're speaking English.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Like it's English.
Steph broke the melody. Soul to Soul broke. Ella broke because when they start singing, the language barrier. It's
Right.
not.
The accent goes away.
It goes
you just
away.
hear singing.
You know
I
what I'm
also
saying?
think this too. There's I said this to Stormzy's team. You can getting into the American mainstream through New York City or Atlanta or Miami, because of through New York you could come in like Stefflon came in. I saw her as a dance, like she was going at dance hall kind of.
Yeah.
And rapping over dance hall and spitting Jamaican patois as well as rapping at the same time.
Right.
That can go through New York and Miami at the same time because of the Caribbean influence, which now gives you a base to kind of build from.
Right.
Well,
You
and the
know what I'm
Caribbean
saying?
influence is shared in New York, Miami, and London.
And London.
London.
So
Yeah.
it's all connected in that way.
So, and same thing with some of the grime MCs, like we playing Wiley's record that features Stefflon, Sean Paul. But that original record was considered a grime record, but over here in New York, we hear it as a dance
That's
hall
our record. Yeah.
record. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just because of how it's chopped up. So P, you're like an artist now.
man, stop.
Well, because of his chain?
Nah,
Or
I
shirt?
mean, the sunglasses in the interview. This is my, look at it. He's so big time, P. He didn't even wear the team shirt.
Nah, man.
He got his own style.
This is my shirt from London though. We did a global. We went on a global QC International.
Oh.
And we had a pop up in London.
Oh, so that's like some
tight.
exclusive.
Yeah, it's very exclusive. I got you though. I got you.
We would all like that. We would all
It's so exclusive. I don't think P got one.
Nah, listen. I just had last week. I just had the QC hoodie on. I just feeling good today. We got a project coming out tonight. Sometimes I want to feel myself.
And a lot of the singles have already been released, right? How many singles do we have off the project?
Not even
Let's
gonna
see.
say singles,
6.
man. It's a project. Don't say singles. It's just.
Tell me why not?
I feel like it's just a great body of work. All of them singles. You know what I mean?
Got it.
It's
Well, I
not
was
like
just saying a lot of
all the
times,
records
a lot of
songs.
records that are ultimately on the project.
Yeah. All right, I guess yeah.
So there's how many total songs on the project?
36.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't know that. We have 8 songs already off the project. I didn't know it went.
36.
Wow.
Now tell me
That's
what's
triple
the
album
philosophy?
status.
What's the philosophy between that much music on a particular project? Because I've seen Migos do a lot of songs also.
I think on the last one we put 30.
Yeah, we had 30.
But all our artists, we give them we say, hey, give us at least 3 songs. You know what I'm saying? From all our artists. Shit, we got. You know.
A lot of artists.
Exactly. So it's like it was 3 songs for the compilation. You know what I mean?
Well, and back in the day, you would have whittled that down to probably 1 from each or 2
I
from.
mean, back in the day, you couldn't even put them all on a CD.
Right.
CD.
You
know what
wouldn't
I'm
fit on a CD
There's
or a
cap,
record.
you know,
Right.
But now with streaming, it's no cap.
So there's no reason for this many songs.
Nah, not at all.
Just to break the rules, do something
It
different.
wasn't even to break the rules. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about cap, no cap? I was introduced to this slang from UP.
I wasn't talking about that, though.
I know you wasn't, but I'm glad you brought it up because
Yeah,
y'all invited me to the no cap party.
Oh yeah.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I had already got
I
too
remember
high
that.
from smoking with Quavo trying to do an interview.
Yeah.
And there was too much weed in the room, and y'all was trying to take me out till 4 a.m, and I wasn't.
That was
I fell
Big
asleep.
Bank.
Yeah, that was Big Bank. That was it's his good friend of mine. He like a Atlanta.
But this slang,
Atlanta
but the terminology, the slang no cap, which has become very popular, cap, no cap, started in Atlanta. That's the original.
Man, you wanna know something? I can't say where it came from, but I just know like a lot of guys in Atlanta made it. If it didn't come from Atlanta, the guys from Atlanta probably made it popular.
Isn't that like
know what I'm
basically
saying?
everything in hip hop over the last 15 years? It may not have come from Atlanta, but it came through Atlanta. I
Well,
feel like
that's
a
the
lot of.
gateway to the South right now, right? If you know wherever you're from in the South, you
But
pop in
I
Atlanta.
don't know who said it first or whatever, so don't quote me.
But
'cause
these
I don't-
no cap parties, that's an Atlanta thing.
Yeah, Big Bank Black from Atlanta. He Atlanta OG. He started the no cap parties.
And the theme
You
is
should have came that night too. It
Yeah,
was
I
off
know.
the
Trying to
chain.
get you out.
y'all tried to get me
to
out.
bring you.
I was tired, man. And I think I had to catch an early flight or something, didn't I?
Yeah.
Forgot what it was. Y'all was trying to make me go all night and look ridiculous the next day. That was the game plan. See?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Laura.
Can you guys talk about Leighton Green? I saw Niles had her on a promo run, and it's the first R&B act that you guys are signing to QC.
Oh yeah, she's very special. You know, like I feel like she got a story to tell that every, you know, I won't say every, but most young girls out here are gonna feel, you know, have a connection with.
Do you like her?
What I've heard so far, but I want to hear more. I'm very curious. What did you guys discover her?
YouTube.
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Where's she from?
She's from East St. Louis and Knoxville, Tennessee.
So
That area.
So listen, we signed this girl. We've been having her in development for the past
6 months.
6 months. Man, she got an EP that we're gonna put out next month. It's 7 songs. I think we shot almost every.
Shot 6.
We shot 6 videos, and it's like it's like a real storyline. And you know, I know that it's it's a hot girl summer and a city girl summer and all that stuff going on right now. But it's about to get cold, and this girl, like, I feel like she doing something that a lot of females ain't doing. She like giving her raw emotions, and what a lot of these girls in love out here. The new thing is dragging men and getting that money and stuff like that. But
That's not new. Beyonce was doing that shit. If you ain't got a JOB, if you
How about
gotta
Madonna?
have a JOB if you want to be with me, they been dragging dudes.
How about Madonna Material Girl from
Yeah,
back
true.
then?
But it's just interesting though, because you guys were just surfing YouTube, just surfing the web, looking, or did somebody bring her to you guys? And was she doing like original stuff on YouTube or covers?
Actually, her name came up, and I went looking. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay,
And it came
okay.
to pass, and she was doing covers. You know, like when we signed Leighton, she already had like over 180 million.
And what's her name?
Leighton Green.
Leighton Green.
Yeah, Leighton
No,
Green.
listen, her project is special. She gon' like next time this year, y'all will be like, yo, y'all did y'all thing well.
How is doing? I think last year I saw you on the cover of a magazine, both of y'all. Or was that this year?
That was
this year.
I think that was the Billboard Executive.
Yeah,
Billboard Executives of the Year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you don't even remember?
My point being,
We didn't get. They didn't give us the cover.
Nah,
or maybe I just saw it on the gram and thought y'all was
she's
just
on the cover of The Source.
okay. There you go.
Yeah, that was like early this year.
But all of that is new for you and UP to be more front facing as executives. Tell me why it makes sense now.
Just putting the brand, just carrying the brand, man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all our artists carry the brand well, but you know, it came to a point where we had to step out there too. You know what I'm saying? Just to
But Ebro, you know us. We step out just every now and then. You know, we mostly behind the scene with it, but you still gotta let people know like you putting in just as much work as a team too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a collective effort. Cause we run a company, and you know a lot of times the artists they want to know. You know, I don't think a lot of artists at these other record labels and stuff can just call their CEO and just go see the chairman and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta put yourself out there so people can know. Like, you know, when they doing business with people, this who I'm really be dealing with. This who career I'm putting my hand in. Then I want to know I'm be able to see him. I'll be able to talk to him, and I think people know we very hands on with the artists.
Are you guys actively looking for young people who are interested in a career in management,
for sure.
development?
Yeah, man, listen,
Yes.
listen. We gonna announce something real soon. I don't wanna talk about it, but right now, you know what I'm saying. But we working on something really big where, you know, we just trying to build a whole team, a whole foundation of young, hungry executives, young managers. Just, you know, we about to bring something to the South that's about to be real special and big, and it's gonna be real innovative to people and very motivating. So stay
Now,
tuned.
Coach, you've been doing. When did you first enter the music game,
1997,
and what artists?
Pastor Troy.
Pastor Troy.
You were working No More Play. That was the first thing.
I wasn't
you,
working it.
Not, but like you were managing
Yeah, I was part of the management.
when that record took off.
And so, you know, over the last how many years is 15, almost 20 years,
Nope,
right?
that would be 22 years.
22. Sorry. How did you and P link up?
Him and Gucci was real close. I was managing Gucci at the time, and we always used to be together. Like, it's so crazy because Gucci don't travel with entourage. You know what I'm saying? So, like, one or two of his boys. You know what I'm saying? Or me, him, security, and twin. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, P might come out. You know, because Gucci, he, you know, it's like he just ain't gonna have a bunch of people around him. It's like P was his boy, so P would come, you know what I'm saying, and hang out with us, and we would all be together. Shit, that was for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
About a year, you know what I'm saying? We was just L.A., Vegas, you know what I mean? And P had a label, but I think he had probably got, you know, invested a lot of money in it where he was like, I'm done with the label. He had put the money into a studio that was dope as hell, you know what I'm saying? It was in the hood, but it was like very, very, he put a lot of money into the studio. One day, we were just sitting there talking. He was like, man, hey man, why don't you come by my studio? I want to be able to get some artists in the studio. I know you know the labels, you know what I'm saying? I know you got, you know all the artists. Maybe you can, you know, get them come in here and start booking the studio time. And when I went in there, I was like, damn, this could be a good hub, you know, for something, you know what I'm saying? So we sat and chopped it up. I was like, man, you know, let's start a label. You know what I mean? He was a little apprehensive at first, but then he started looking at it like, we ain't got no artists. And I was like, I think we can get the Migos. You know what I'm saying? And we met with the Migos, and there it is.
Go from
QC.
there.
Yeah.
So what were the Migos doing at that point that made you say, I think we can get the
At the
Migos?
time, I was managing Gucci, and they was coming to Gucci studio. You know what I'm saying? A lot. You know what I mean? Recording and shit.
But they were unsigned. They were just
unsigned.
kids messing around. and
Yeah, they weren't signed, but a lot of labels was
interested.
yeah, they was taking meetings and stuff. You know, so I wanted to get in front of that.
A lot of convos happening around Jay-Z working with the NFL right now. And people who don't like it, people who understand it, people who see both, you know, that
Yeah.
these type of relationships, it's treacherous waters. Let me just put it like that, where, you know, Jay-Z has earned our trust to say, let's see how our guy Hove deals with this. We don't like the fact that the NFL has blackballed Colin Kaepernick. But let's see if, you know, it looks like Jay is setting up for the right things here, right? Because we got to think long term, 10 years from now. You know, so there's not another Colin Kaepernick situation where a young man feels, you know, he may lose his job because something is happening in his neighborhood or to people he cares about, and he can't speak out about it without being concerned for his job. That takes ownership. You all, from management to label, are navigating these same circles around owning studio, owning label, owning. I heard rumblings of you guys doing movies and doing other entertainment ventures. How much of that wisdom are you guys going to be able to impart upon individuals moving forward to show them how to navigate this game?
I mean, I think we do it every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, shit, all our artists are brands now. So they got their own businesses. You know what I'm saying? So, we examples of trying to lead the way for them. You know what I mean? And teaching them and sharing it. I'm like, I always tell people I'm an open book. You know what I'm saying? Especially for any, like, black entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to come up in the world that I came up in, and I know I had a lot of hurdles to get here. I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that with them so, maybe I can help them get over the hurdles. You know what I'm saying?
Now, are you guys actively investing in things or people with ideas also outside of music?
Yeah, for sure.
Always.
And how would somebody reach out to y'all? How do they find? How would somebody get time with
It's so easy now, man. Come on, everybody's on social media now, man. It's the easiest.
It's so different than when you were trying to get in the game and trying to meet people.
Man, listen, man. It's too hard. But you gonna go stand in front of a building and hope the man walks down?
You did do that. That's what people did do.
no, that's what
right?
people did,
I
for
know
sure.
that.
And it's insane. When you think about it relative to now people are like, yo, I sent you a message. You didn't get it? It's wild.
Yeah.
But people honestly believe it's very hard, though.
No, and like we not hard to find it. I mean, Ebro, I be out.
Well,
People
I mean,
can't-
obviously we have a different relationship than just somebody trying to come up in the game. But I will say this: you are one of the most corresponding new businessmen in hip hop, for sure. For the level of success that y'all have, the way that you guys correspond to business regarding all of your artists, just on the email, right? There's some managers and people you deal with out here, you can't get to them, right? Even me, it'll be a week, 2 weeks, right? And that ability to correspond with individuals, I mean, that's one of the things that's made Jay great over his years of being both a businessman and an artist, is he responds to email, right? He corresponds. You can find him. Right, it's not impossible to approach him or to set up a meeting if you have a legitimate plan.
I mean, all of those things are very hard if you're not.
But that's my point.
Yeah, there's an entry point. You have to get in the door.
But man, I ain't gonna lie, man. With the social now, people can get to you.
Yeah,
real.
because I'm gonna keep it real, man. I wake up and look in my DMs every day because it might be a diamond in the rough in there. It's a lot of established artists right now that we miss that sent messages. I went and looked 2017, 2016. They
In there.
They in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call no names, but if I would have been paying attention, maybe I would have seen.
So you see that as a way that you've improved over the last couple of years to make sure you're paying attention more.
I'm gonna be honest. I damn near open all of them just to look and see what it is, because they might send a link, a little video, a song, or something like that. I might just go on their page to see, because I want to see, like, if you in your city at the club and the whole club going crazy to your song. That might make me be like, let me see what this about. You know what I'm saying? If I see other folks engaging, this might be something. So I'm always looking.
I'm glad you said that too.
You think it's over for babies? No more babies, right? Have we hit the baby limit at this point? Da Baby, Lil Baby. I do think that you could sign any more babies, or you think that we're done in hip hop? Because remember, like Lil had a time, and then it came to an end. And
They were young. Young, was
and then
in it.
Young had a run. But at this point, you have two superstars in Lil Baby
and the Baby.
Da Baby.
People
are both
just
stars.
figured out this year that they were different people. Y'all know that, right? Outside of the core culture.
That's crazy.
Did you guys know about Da Baby already pre Lil Baby?
Yeah. This was so crazy though, cause I had went to Charlotte with Lil Baby like early last year, and he had a show. I think it was after that Spotify show. After the Spotify show, he like, I'm about to go do this feature. So I went with him, and it was a baby. Like he wasn't the baby that he is right now. You know what I'm saying? But him and Lil Baby had did a song. I was in the studio when they did it.
So did you ever have a moment?
And you know what they named the song on the QC project? Lil Baby and the Baby?
It's like Muppet Babies.
Nope,
No, it's like
just
Babies.
Baby.
Baby. Exactly.
Now they trolling us.
Now, right. Now, so the first time
trolling
that you asked, the first time that Lil Baby told you he made a record with The Baby, did you even have a moment of being like, wait, what's his name?
Not what?
And he's like, no, it's The Baby, not Lil Baby. And you're like, all right.
I don't think it was the baby at first. I think
It was the baby.
He already was the
I
baby?
think it was baby Jesus. I thought it was baby Jesus. He was like,
When I seen him, he was the baby.
was it?
He had some tapes out. He been working for a while.
yeah,
And now he
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, he out
Right?
of
They
here.
both out of here.
Yeah, they
And
both
I'm
are.
gonna tell you what's
And they
dope.
sound totally different, which helps.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you just what's even more dope is that, like, the baby, he from the Carolinas, and ain't no artist broke out the Carolinas than Peter Pablo or something like that.
Cole, but that was
J.
kinda
Cole.
New York. He was kind of New York.
He
Queen.
went through
Yeah,
St.
he went
John's.
through- yeah.
But really,
Yeah,
in
he did.
history, it's J. Cole, Little Brother, Petey Pablo. There's not a lot.
Yeah, but he putting it down right now for the
Yeah,
Carolinas,
sure
and
is.
it got to be, it got to be inspiring for them two states for them to go harder. So I'm glad that he doing his thing.
Coach, what do you love most about where music is going and what you're seeing in the music industry right now?
Just now that artists, like they can be as creative as they want right now. You know what I'm saying? Artists pretty much got to look, control in their hands, you know what I mean, of the past, where it was like, if you ain't doing it this way, you know what I'm saying, or a certain way you had to fit in this style, or you had to do, now it's kind of just open, you know what I'm saying? It's an open house.
And do you see your role in the game and QC's role, you and P, as a way to give artists creative freedom, and you guys just help them fit into the industry?
Man, every artist we sign, as soon as we sign, we say, listen, we ain't gonna never get in your way creatively. That's why we signed you. We just want to put some, some safety nets around you, you know what I'm saying, and kind of guide you, give you some guidance, that's it. But your creative, we never gonna get in front of.
And has that posed any problems?
Nah. Not at all.
Not yet.
And all our artists is like different. None of them is like the same. Like Yachty ain't like Lil Baby or
I loved how Yachty leaned into writing y'all leaned into him writing the City Girls pieces and all that. I love how that was shown.
Yeah.
I think that's dope because I don't think Yachty, a lot of people pegged, and we always debated this, a lot of people pegged Yachty as a mumble rapper. And we would always be like, he's not mumbling. You can clearly hear what he's saying.
Right.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy, man. A lot of people be sleeping on Yachty, but if you just get him, I think the way how he came in the game, it was just so different from what everybody sort of used to, And I know he get a lot of criticism from up here, but he really can rap. Like
for sure.
I've
given him criticism.
Like
I wasn't ready for Kool-Aid colored red hair. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
But I'm
Now
just
y'all
saying,
best friends.
That's my homie.
Yeah.
But you know why? Because he takes the criticism and he's not afraid.
He's just a mature kid. He's always
Smart, mature. He knows what he wants to be. He knows what's dope, even though what he might be doing might be unpopular to a certain crowd. He's not afraid of that. Like that's
true or
dope.
false. Are you guys sitting here having this conversation with us if Lil Yachty doesn't ever come along? How big was he for QC getting to where it got to?
Oh no, he was big. He came in at a time when I'm gonna keep it real. He really put us back in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He put us back in the game until the boys came with the culture album. Cause like we was going through a transition with 300 and things just wasn't good. We couldn't put out music and things like that. And
Yeah, we was leaving 300, just got the, in the Capital Motown Universal system. It was new over there, so we learning their system, and we was at a still place. You know what I mean? Boom. here
Didn't
come
even
Yachty.
realize that was a thing.
Yeah, I heard this from someone in the business who was saying that at the new label, they were starting to have questions about like if this stuff was going to happen, and it was getting a little dicey. And then Yachty showed up, and all of a sudden it was like QC,
Explosion.
yeah,
we got it.
No, Yachty put us back on the map, like for sure. And I'm telling you, man, I put Yachty in the booth with 90% of these rappers. He would out rap them, like straight up, but people, for some reason, I just feel like
It's his vocal tone in his unorthodox pocket sometimes. It's not the words, right? Because people can't even get into the words because of how he vocally sounds, and then he'll jump off beat and be off pocket playing around and trolling motherfuckers like the whole, he just trolls and does all that.
He reminds me of Tyler so much. No, I don't mean as rappers, as just as people, in terms of there's so much more than the rapping.
Oh, for sure.
There's so much, they see the vision, they see the brand. You could
most
picture them
definitely
producing
visionary.
films, TV shows.
Yeah.
Like,
That's happening now.
Yeah.
It's already happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
you know,
I'm work for Yachty one day. That's
There's
my
a thing-
goal.
But there's a thing in hip hop which I'm glad is still there, right? For the sake of kind of like making sure the core of like being an MC and rapping ability is still a part of the conversation. Right? Like, as one of the things, in my opinion, that has made hip hop so successful over such a long period of time is there are cultural rites of passages that you have to, whether that be coming in through the South, you gotta, be stamped and move a certain way and make certain types of records. Coming in through New York, cats is gonna be like, yo, where you at with these lyrics? Can you get to these raps though, if you want to, right? I think, and even in LA, right, you see certain things, you gotta be able to be hot in a certain way. You gotta have a certain type of lyrics. There's certain things that you gotta have to come into this game. And I think that makes sure that we don't just become something that is completely watered down and just like a gimmick, right? Because y'all work at that, in that space of labels where it just becomes a commodity, where it's like, oh, that's hot. Make 30 of those. At a certain point in hip hop, people are gonna be like, now you just biting. Now you just a knockoff. Now, you know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean?
It's so crazy. We at QC, we not like that though, because we really like to find stuff and develop it from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And make sure that it has its own
Its own lane.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Whereas you chasing something, 30 of them, we ain't ready to do that. You know what I mean? Like, for real.
Do people approach y'all with that sometimes where it's like, oh, this sounds just like we not?
I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, if I go through my DMs, as I do, I'm looking, it's like a bunch of shit that sounds like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you got to weed through and pick pick it. And you got to have vision to see through it, you know? A lot of labels chase stats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All that shit might sound the same, but hey, it's saying it's doing this and doing that, but will it be around? Will it last?
P, you like doing interviews yet? Have you? Because I'll be honest, I do interviews all the time. I hate being interviewed.
No, I don't really like it, but it's necessary sometimes.
QC got an album out, so
Yeah, and who better
Volume
to
2.
trust to promote the album than
Sure.
them themselves?
I like it.
Quality Control, Control the Streets, Volume 2. 36 songs.
That's right.
So, a lot of music.
Y'all be careful out here now. You on the front. TMZ gonna be following y'all. They gonna have y'all all talk over these. You know what I mean? Be careful.
Actually, I would have loved for the artists just to come in, promote it. Like Lil Baby and Layton did some press, in LA and stuff. But the Migos, they locked in right now in the culture camp, recording, and Baby he moving, and Yachty, everybody just locked in doing other things. So we just like.
So we'll have a Migos album soon.
Yeah.
Will we have a Cardi B album this year?
Cardi working.
So maybe,
She working.
maybe. Lil Yachty,
Yeah.
a Lil Yachty album in 2019.
Lil Yachty working.
Okay.
Everybody working.
City-
City working, City Girls.
You might get a City Girls
Another
album.
City Girl.
You might get a City Girls album for. See, the thing about when JT come home, she going to the halfway house. But the great thing about the halfway house is they let you go on work release. So soon as she get out, she gonna be locked in the studio working.
And when does that happen? Do we have a date for JT
Hopefully she'll be on next month.
next month?
Yeah,
Nice.
In a few weeks, if everything go how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
Coach and P, Quality Control. Control the Streets Volume 2. This drops tonight.
Tonight.
That's
Tonight. What do they call it? Tonight at Store Turn on Apple Music.
Store turn, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So they call it.
Late
They
at
do
night.
call it.
I get it, but it'll be late
What
at
is
night.
it? Midnight here, 9 o'clock on the West Coast.
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
There it is. Give it up. Coach
Thanks,
and Big
guys.
Quality Control.